Okay,
Ruined.
we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to another. I love that. Like, I still hadn't
you.
switched from starting soon, and all you could hear was Dan being like, "I'm ready." Welcome to another The Forsaken. Here on Monday night. Hopefully, you've had a decent Monday so far. But yeah, let's get right into this. Apologies for those in chat that our recap was cut a little bit short, but technical difficulties on my own side here. Well, I mean, kind of someone's fault. A little summary from last week. The adventurers awoke the next morning in the Crinthora household, beginning breakfast in the guest dining room before being interrupted by one of the household servants with a message. Cullem wanted to speak to them outside. There, they discovered 6 dead bodies had been tied together in a circle with a note for Pyxrin from none other than Varys, her drow ex-fiancé, the same drow who broke into Cullem's house a few days before, snatching the wizard's time device artifact. After the group discussed what this gift could possibly mean, both for Cullem and for them, a few of the party members take some time to bury the bodies by the lake. What a time it was.
That's right.
What a time it was.
I forgot about that.
A gnome was thrown.
It was a hot mess.
Yep.
A hot badger.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Shirtless
That's right.
Kazeel coming back. Oh, that's great.
Ugh.
Once back inside, they begin preparations for helping Jurble with his wound, Cullem revealing the hidden room with a large crystal that will draw out the bad spirits. He also shows them the project that he had been working on the night before, a box to kill bad spirits, as well as he hands the metal cards back to Zephyr after enchanting them. With these 2 items, he tells them the adventurers should have a better handle on facing and maybe capturing the Shiga. Afterwards, they activate the crystal and heal Jurble, turning their attention to their next steps and next destination as a few of them head to their rooms to freshen up. And that's where we begin tonight's session of The Forsaken.
That's right, we're drawing a bath. I forgot all about this.
Yes, well, because some of y'all actually did work. Kazeel was shirtless, if I remember correctly.
He doesn't understand polymorph yet. When he came
like...
back, he just wasn't wearing.
Yeah. So we'll say that Jurble went to freshen up a bit. I think Pyxrin was going to freshen up, Kazeel was going to freshen up, and Cullem was going to go and I think like have a power nap for an hour. I don't know. So he said to meet back there, kind of like outside the dining room area, the guest dining room area, in about an hour's time. So, yeah, anything that y'all want to do during the hour specifically, that you want to RP out, other than taking a bath.
Bath time, because like yeah.
I mean,
No,
you all
just
have
taking a
private
bath,
baths in your rooms. I mean, if you want to couple up with a bath, sure, that's fine, as long as there's consent.
No, I just want to get
side effects.
Yeah, right.
Teagan will freshen up alone.
Okay. All right. Wonderful.
Stare quietly
Yeah, single
into
Pringle.
his teacup.
Ranerius will stay in. I guess we were in the dining area of.
Yeah, that's where you kind of stopped. I think you were more in the kitchen area of his
area.
residence, not really the fancy dining area of the guest residence.
So Ranerius will just chill out and read one of the books, The Magic of Osbergen, written by Z.
Okay, all right. Okay, so if nothing else, we'll say that the hour passes. All of you are freshened up, or those of you who went to freshen up, and those who kind of just hung around. It's been a nice, quiet hour. I would say that probably since, I would say that either one of the spirit servants, or either Lyric or John would probably make some tea. for everyone. Maybe even get out some ale that's, out of one of the cupboards. So, yeah, you can get some refreshments. I'm sure the servants will bring some snacks around for the, for the drinks. Yeah, so everyone will say that for sake of brevity, everyone is back in the kitchen when Cullem kind of slowly comes in using a cane. Well, I hope that all of you have found everything okay, and are you heading out now that you know of, or?
I think that we were hoping that you could send us to the cafe. What was it called? Aurelius's?
Yeah,
Cafe.
The cafe.
The cafe, so we could check in on Aurelius. I think you said you might be able to bamf us over.
Jurble, who freshened up in his room for a bit, but kind of seems a little nervous and a bit off, is sitting at the table, and I really want to go and check on Sinead. And I plan to do it, even if the rest of you don't want to go with me.
If you
Is
want
that...
Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Teagan will just say to Jurble, if you really want to go, I will go with you.
Is that on the way to the cafe? How far away is it if we're walking?
The cafe lies on another plane to travel
Oh,
by.
it's in Dem Glemte?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
To travel by horse back to where Sinead is. It would be a few days' journey.
John will kind of... we wouldn't have to travel by horse this time. I could take you and your horses through a portal to...
I'm a traveler.
To Lysadere, which is where Sinead is. We would have to come back here for... I don't have the ability to send you to Dem Glemte, but... I know he does have the ability to send you there, because he... No. Yeah, he sent you there first, so he does have the ability to. Yeah, so... Sorry, scratch that.
He didn't.
Oh,
He didn't send us
So-
there
He didn't
first.
send us there.
No. He's a natural portal. Sunflowers.
Oh, you did. Oh, he sent you. He sent you to the field of sunflowers. Sorry. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll stick with that. That I don't have the ability to send you to another, to Dem Glemte, as I've never really quite been there myself. Aurelius has visited me here before, but I can bring you back here after you're done, and would that be okay with you, Cullem? Yes, of course. If you need to take care of something else and come back for a portal to Dem Glemte, I'm more than happy to get that done for you.
This is where it says, if you have any other business to take care of,
Sure.
do so now.
Yep.
You will not be returning to this.
Yep. Yep.
Nice.
You're right.
As long as you're sure you can do that and you're willing to, I'd love to. It sounds like it's important to see her if she's that far gone. See, there's Sinead, if there's anything we can do.
Yes. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Oh no, sorry, I'm trying to fix screens again.
Oh no, you're fine.
Yes. Are you ready to go now, or John will ask? Are you ready to go now, or do you need some other time to prepare?
Jurble, how long do you think it would take to check on her? What are you hoping to do?
To get whatever's in her out through those cards that Zephyr has.
Oh, we understand the danger, don't we? He explained that it can hurt souls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That runs the risk of consuming or destroying Sinead's soul as well. It's
I know, but he said that as long as we're careful, this is Jurble, he said as long as we're careful, that it can be done. So I want to try and get it done.
right. You know, your calm, reserved tone has sold me. Oh, I.
Cullem, do you think that this plan is doable? I mean, we've talked about it, I know, but is there anything we should be wary of when using these cards? And is there anything we can do to maybe help safeguard Sinead if we're to do this?
I would suggest that if anyone is proficient in Arcana, that you just keep an eye on the situation. Possibly even someone who knows something about religion and souls and how they respond, probably. But just be careful. It's definitely a possibility, but I think with careful eyes on the situation, which I believe that all of you have, that it should be a doable thing.
Careful eyes.
Yes.
I will
would you say this is worth doing
heed your
for
advice, Cullem. Thank you so much.
What did you say, Ren?
Colin, would you say that this venture to try and help this girl is worth the endeavor, or it won't maybe bring about what we're hoping, and possibly yet is maybe another distraction that you told us to avoid?
Oh, the distractions that I spoke of are more in a grander sense.
Okay.
If you feel inclined to help this person, then you should. I know that Jurble asked about bringing her here, which you can, but the cards...
Bring her here?
Sure, but I would rather not share my location with too many. Not that I don't trust your friends and those that you trust, but the less people that know about my location are probably the better. And honestly, I'm not really sure even, kind of a look to like one of the spirit servants. I'm not really sure how long I'll even stay here, to be honest. It seems like wizards are being hunted. So I will stay long enough to hear back from you, and he'll, give John a sending stone to let him know when, if something comes up and you're not, something comes up and you're not, going to come back here to be transported to Dem Glemte, then John will let me know, and I may start preparations on relocating, and
Great.
yeah.
Wonderful.
And I'll, John kind of looks at the stone. Let's see. Yeah. He'll hand it over to Ren. John will hand the sending stone over to Ren. Here, why don't you hold on to it? And that way, if we should get separated, or even after the fact and you want to get a hold of Cullem, is that okay, Cullem? Yes, it's fine.
I'll add it to my collection.
John kind of rubs his hands together. Well, are we ready?
I think so.
Okay. Well, let's, why don't you're going to take your horses, or since we're coming back here, do you want to leave your horses here for now? Or take them with you? It's up to you.
1 + 1 is 2.
Sure.
and all sit.
So there's an
take 'em.
option to leave mine.
So you want to leave your horse here?
Hmm?
Okay. Anyone set on taking the horse? Even. Okay. All right. Cullem, do you have? Yes.
Will they be safe here? The horses.
Cullem, I mean, they've been safe up until now, right? I don't plan to do anything with them if that's what you're asking.
Noted. Thank you.
And yeah. John will look to Cullem. Is there a place that we can, that I can set up the portal that's not here and amongst everything? Maybe the dining room's a bit bigger. Maybe that will be better. So he'll lead you. The painting's been open this entire time, so the door into the dining room is there. Lead you into the dining room, which does have a lot of space, like around the dining table. On each side, a lot of extra space. So they'll just kind of go to the right side when they first kind of step into that guest dining room, and John will kind of stretch his shoulders a bit and close his eyes and begin concentrating and began to kind of do some motions with his hands before drawing a large circle into the air, which as he moves his hand, a glowing ring kind of comes out from it, and until it forms this full circle, that at first is just a ring, begins to glow inside and kind of spreads out about 5 feet in each direction. So big enough for really almost a creature of any size to travel through. Through the portal, you see the town of Lysadere, not too far in the distance, and maybe even in the town, like you'll be able to see the market from where this portal opened. You'll see a couple people kind of stop and look. All right, okay, still has his hands up. Here we go. Just walk right on through.
Okay.
Neat little
So
trick.
we'll walk through.
All right. So everyone walks through, and including Jurble, who will kind of stay in the back and give a thank you to Cullem before following everyone else through. Yeah, and of course, like Lyric does as well. And John will step through at the last minute. The portal will stay open a couple minutes behind you before closing. Probably most of you it would kind of bring you back to the portal that brought you to like Relask from Bairn.
Hey, so onward to Sinead, I suppose.
Yes. And Jurble will look around at everyone, and I appreciate it that you're coming with me. It means a lot.
Anytime.
Tactic we use.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Jurble will kind of probably be eager, so he'll kind of lead the way a bit. You'll kind of walk through a marketplace here in Lysadere, recognizing, since you were just here a few days ago. You walk through the market. You'll see a couple of baby griffins kind of being carried or running behind someone. Yeah, I would say Jurble would lead you.
So cute.
Jurble will lead you right through the market and into kind of like the side of the mountain. So you have those two mountain sides that kind of face each other, that where the market and everything stays in between, with these large pieces of rubble that dot the market and around here that have been kind of carved into to make buildings. The same as these two mountainsides that have been carved into with stairs and with windows. So they basically built most of their city inside of these, like carved out the mountains to habitate most of their city and most of their living spaces. He'll lead you right through kind of like that opened area where you'll see some people kind of traversing through, going from like one area to the other. You'll see the doors going back to the sanctuary, the Temple of Elistre. And he'll take you down a familiar hallway and down another to what you know is leading towards Sinead and Aqua's residence here in Lysadere. So you get to a wooden door that's been kind of placed into a stone opening, how most of the apartments or the houses are set up here. And I would say that Jurble would probably stop at the door and look back at the rest of you and knock. There's no answer for a couple of minutes, and Jurble will knock again. And Sinead, Aqua, the mother, will answer. A little griffin, the fuzzy little griffin you remember from before, kind of scurrying out under, like in between her legs and out to the group of you, kind of like running in between your legs and kind of like flapping its little wings as it's going around the group.
Well, that's cute.
Zephyr literally like purr at it and like pet
Mm.
Make an animal handling check for me, Zephyr.
it. So good at this. 10.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say that it's a little hesitant at first, but after a few moments, it recognizes you from before and will kind of hesitantly let you pet it. And of course, you see they appear as they appeared to you before, Zephyr, with the sparkles. Aqua will kind of look amongst the group of you. Oh, welcome back. Please come in. He kind of looks at Jurble. I wasn't expecting everyone back so soon, but I'm glad to see you. Please come in and have a seat.
Thank you.
Right. Teagan will come in and take a seat.
Same.
All the sitting.
Okay.
We've come here, Aqua. I'm sorry for coming unannounced. We've come here for Sinead. We think we can help her.
As you walk into the house, the things are a bit disheveled. There are definitely, from how you saw it before, which looked homey and lived in, but it wasn't pristine. Very little furnishings as it was before, but you'll see some things kind of ruffled by, that have been ruffled by the griffin on like a rug that's been kind of ruffled up by the griffin. And you'll see like 4 mugs sitting on one of the tables, one of the end tables by the, by one of the chairs in the sitting room. Everyone make a perception check for me, please.
Oh,
15.
Nat 20.
30-20.
Ooh, 27.
15.
Anyone with a, I would say a 12 or above would notice Aqua's expression, which is almost like a fake. Like she seems genuinely glad to see you, but she definitely seems a bit sadder than the last time that you saw her. Her eyes have a little bit of darkness under them. More like not anything bad, but more like that she's just tired and a little worn down. Her hair is a little frazzled, which is unlike drow hair. Yeah. And sorry, I'm getting the. I just noticed that everyone's banners are all messed up, so I'm trying to get that done right now for you.
No worries.
Well, which character am I officially playing according to stream?
So you're sitting here. Some of you are
Gimbal.
standing, some of you are sitting. Anything that you want to. Ranerius said that to Aqua, so I guess that she would respond. Yes. Sinead. Jurble, I would say, would kind of reach out and put a hand on her shoulder. What's wrong? And Aqua will look at Jurble, and witnessing kind of his connection with her before, will just kind of look at him pleadingly, and with her sad eyes finally, like the fake jovialness kind of dropping. She's gone. I let her. She was insistent 2 days ago that she wanted to, maybe not even 2 days, maybe a day and a half, insistent on going outside. It was late, but she hadn't been outside for days, and so I allowed her to, and I didn't go out with her, and I should have. But she's gone.
Do you know where she might have gone?
No, a couple of the guards here in town, I told them, and they went looking out in the forest. Didn't see a sign of her. You know how the forests around here can be. Didn't see a trace. So there are a couple out looking beyond in both directions now, beyond the forest, but I don't, she didn't take anything with her. So I don't, it's hard for me to believe that it was planned, because she's smart, and I think that she would have packed something, but everything's in her room as it should be. Jurble will sit down, looking very shocked.
Did they look within the limits?
Well,
Instead of just out in
within
the
the
forest?
city? Yes. We had some of the townspeople came together and searched the different caverns here and the rooms and out in the market, and still nothing. I can't help but think that it's just fate, that seems like she's always being taken. So it should be you think I'd be used to it by now, but I'm not. Right, she'll kind of pick up the griffin, the baby griffin, and just kind of like mindlessly pet it while she's speaking to you.
Is John with us?
Yes, John will be with you.
Would you mind if we maybe happen to look around her room? Maybe look for clues.
Sure. She'll please follow me, and she'll take you back there. I would say that Zephyr would kind of stay sitting in the chair in the sitting room. Yeah, she will take you back to Sinead's room. And yeah, is there anything specific that you're wanting to look for in here?
I want to cast Detect Magic as an action.
Okay. Oh, how did that happen? Okay. So you cast Detect Magic. Nothing magical in this room.
And I'd also like to roll an investigation check. Look around.
Okay. So you're just looking around for any clues, anything specific?
Diaries, notes, scribblings on the walls. I don't know how. I don't think Ranerius went in the first time. So
did you not?
I think Ranerius was sitting in the parlor or whatever the whole time.
Okay.
If it's doable, I'd definitely like to give him a hand.
Sure. That sounds good. Sorry, just one more thing here, and I don't know what's happening.
It's just that kind of night.
I don't know what's happening.
That's all.
My internet.
Oh.
Disconnected.
Yeah. So okay. So let me just concentrate on this for a second. Okay. So y'all. Okay. So you are helping him. Are you going to roll a separate investigation check, Kazeel, or are you going to assist him?
Just help him. If I may.
So if you want to roll with advantage, Ranerius.
Sure. First one's a 26, second one's a 22.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so with Kazeel's help, Ranerius, you kind of look around the room. They don't have a lot of furnishings in the house in general. There's a bed in here. There's a little, nightstand table with a beautiful candle on it with some, interesting carvings. There are a couple of kind of small toys of sorts, a couple of twigs. You open up a drawer in the nightstand, and there are some rocks in there. Nothing too off-putting for, someone of Sinead's age. Yeah. There are a couple of things hanging on the walls, but other than that, in the rug in the room, there's not that much there. You would notice some interesting scorch marks on the wall that if you stop to look, Aqua would be quick to say, oh, that was just where she liked to practice her magic. She's just kind of looking around the room.
Is there a sheet or blanket or item of clothing or anything around?
Other than just the blankets on the bed, I will say that there's a couple other blankets folded on top of a chest. Maybe a shirt that's kind of draped over the, that's kind of lying by the bed or lying on the bed. Not really, no.
Okay. I'm gonna pick up the blanket that's not folded, the one that's been used.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bring it over to Mags and kind of mentally be track her? And kind of just reach it out to Mags and see if she does anything with it.
Okay. Cool. Let me make a quick roll here. Ooh, everything's finally. Okay. Nice. Okay. So Mags kind of, you'll hold the, the clothing down to Mags, and Mags will kind of sniff. And do you say anything to Mags, Ren?
Well, just mentally reaching out to
Okay.
to suggest the idea of following a smell, tracking her.
Okay. Make that animal handling check for me, please.
18.
Okay, good. You feel kind of a confirmation from Mags as she will immediately start heading down the hallway and towards the sitting room.
I'm gonna get real excited because that's the first time mentally I've connected with her and actually made sense. Then I was like, guys, she might know where she is.
Okay. So those following her, you'll follow her. She goes out of the. We'll say that she'll kind of stop at the front door since I'm sure that Aqua closed it, and someone will open the door for her. And because Aqua is just kind of like looking at this like, what? Like, kind of a little bit in her own kind of state of mind right now. We'll say that she'll kind of go in there with Jurble and sit down with him. So Mags leads those following out into the hallway, out into like the main area of this this stone mountainside. You'll see a couple people, some people like just stop walking in wherever that they were going and just kind of stop and be like, whoa. What's going on? Why are these people chasing this dog? And
a line of people and a dog in front.
Right. Mags will lead you out into the marketplace, through the marketplace, out past the marketplace. Where she's leading you is also familiar because of how you came into the city before, from that far forest, the outside forest that's in between Lysadere and where the Leighton mansion is. Leads you over to kind of that edge, right there at the edge of Lysadere, where it's all clear and where the rubble is, to where the forest begins almost abruptly. Leads you to there, and about 10 feet away from where the forest begins, stops. Doesn't go into the forest, but just stops right there. And we'll just kind of try to... You can see Mags kind of sniffing around and trying to find the scent again, or to see where the scent continues. And Mags just kind of sits down and looks up at you, Ren, and looks, kind of gives out a little whimper almost.
Rub her face and say, "Great job getting us here." I think she lost the scent.
She'll give out a little quick breath out of her nose as she kind of just looks around a little defeated.
I'll pull out a little meat snack and give it to her.
Oh, she'll happily eat it. Yes.
I think hopefully I can take it from here, and I'm going to cast Locate Creature.
Do we still have our necklaces on?
I mean,
well,
that's up to you. If you would have, because you did find out that the necklaces, which I completely forgot in the recap, you did find out that the necklaces could be used to track you, maybe.
Yeah, blast.
Yeah, so I know some people specifically said that they took it off and they said it, they threw it in. Not everyone said anything like that. So if
I think I still have mine.
Yeah, Zephyr still has his own. Ranerius does.
Mainly because Jurble stayed back, right?
Yes, Jurble stayed back, but Jurble was one of the ones that threw it in.
Yeah, Jurble threw his away. Never mind.
Yeah, and I think Teagan did too.
Yep.
Specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I did as well. So.
Okay. So no, you are not wearing your necklace, but there are a couple people in your party that you can see who are.
Well, it doesn't matter because Jurble doesn't have one, so it's fine.
True. And you said that was locate. What are you casting?
Locate creature, 4th level spell.
Okay.
Describe or name a creature that's familiar to you, and you can sense the creature's location within 1,000 feet.
Okay. Is that instantaneous? Does that take time to cast?
No, it's a 1 action.
Okay. You get nothing.
She's nowhere within a half mile of here. I know that for certain.
Portal then? Can you use your detect magic and see if there's anything left over from a portal?
Yes, I can. Let me do that, and I'll cast detect magic again.
Okay. Yes. All right. So.
Wait. Hang on.
Yes.
So detect magic is concentration. Detect creature is also concentration.
Oh,
do
no.
I want to do
what
that?
What do you want to do? I will say you didn't detect anything with detect creature.
Right.
Not here.
If I detect magic, I'll can anyone else detect magic, or is it just me?
Oh wait, magic?
I'm afraid I can't. Can you do it?
Better if you just stop.
Oh, okay, fine then. And I will then.
So you're casting detect magic instead?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll see Ranerius kind of drop kind of the one spell and start up the detect magic spell. Unfortunately, you do not detect any magic here. I mean,
I would like to walk
like,
around
Yeah,
a little
look
bit,
around
just
to
the
see if there's
area.
Yeah. Okay.
Broken
But,
branches.
Yeah, if there's nothing, then...
Yeah.
muddy tracks.
Wait, so are you looking for broken branches and muddy tracks, Ren?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
so make a
Teagan
survival check for me.
We'll assist him. Teagan will assist.
Okay, do it with advantage, please.
Nice.
Ranerius,
Survival check, is that what you're
yes, correct. Ranerius, you're walking around.
Okay.
I'm just casing the area to see if I can detect
Casing
anything.
the area.
that's
Are
magic.
you staying outside of the forest?
I'll probably venture into the forest a little bit.
Okay. All right. Okay.
If I don't see that the forest is like a magical barrier,
No.
then...
No, you're not. You're not detecting that. No.
Okay.
Yeah. If you venture in, how far into the forest do you think that you're venturing, like feet wise?
100 feet.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you see Ranerius kind of like going off into the forest to, kind of holding out his hands in front of him, with the spell. Ren and Teagan, what did you roll, Ren?
I got a 21. I got 12 and 12.
Okay. Oh, of course. Yeah, so you're looking for any broken branches, tracks.
Or just really any physical evidence of someone walking somewhere.
Okay.
Or being somewhere.
I would say that, Ren, as you and Teagan's kind of helping you out, we'll say Teagan's kind of looking for the broken branches, you're looking for the tracks. And you do see... Well, you see several tracks that were probably done in the past 24 showers. That look like that they kind of go into the woods, come out of the woods. Make an intelligence check for me to see if you can kind of put together what this might be.
Intelligence. There it is. Nothing, no modifier. 10.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, you do remember that Aqua did say that they had people looking for her that were checking the forests and that sort of thing. You would also, let's see here. I would say that you would also find maybe very, very faint with your roll, very, very faint, smaller tracks that lead from Lysadere towards the edge of the forest and stop.
Like smaller, like a child's tracks, or like
yeah,
a small
like
creature's
not like
tracks?
no, not like a small creature. It's like a
No.
like a child, like a smaller foot than the other footprints that you're seeing. Possibly, maybe about around your size, maybe a little bit bigger. Looks like maybe like a like a younger human track, or a younger humanoid track, I guess.
Does where we're at I guess, does this forest area give off a vibe in a way of like, oh, this is where kids just come play sometimes? Or is this kind of a no parent would want their child to walk into these woods?
Where kids come to play for the last time.
I've heard this nursery rhyme.
Make a perception check for me, Rim.
Okay.
Just so you can kind of take a look around and see if you, you know.
Perception. 11.
Okay. We'll put it this: you don't see any other kids around this area. Like, most of the children in the town seem to be staying more towards the market area and more in towards Lysadere. Looking around, like, the part that kind of stops at this forest, you don't see any kids within probably like 100 feet towards town. Much, or even really anyone. Like, it's pretty, you know, there's a lot of distance between Lysadere and here. You can still see Lysadere, you can still tell where the market is and see people walking around. It's not that far away, but there's definitely still some space. And you don't see like anyone in this immediate area.
I'll tell the group. There's some maybe kids tracks over here.
Oh.
I don't know if we want to follow them or not, but they seem a little out of place, maybe.
Interesting little trick.
Well, just a reminder that the tracks led up to the woods and then they stopped. They didn't go into the woods.
Is that the case for all the tracks I see?
No. The larger tracks are going in and out of the woods.
But the kids' tracks go to the woods and then gone.
Correct.
Zephyr would like to investigate the ground.
And the larger tracks, like, there are several. Like, it's not just one set of tracks that are going in and out. Like, it's several adult tracks that are, you know, that you can tell have went out in the past, like, in and out of the past, like, 24, 30 some hours.
Probably the guard that was searching after her.
Yeah, but these kids ones, like, just go in and stop, but then they don't go back like everybody else's.
Has to be a portal or some sort of teleportation magic, I'd say.
Zephyr, what was your thing that you were doing? I'm sorry.
I want to investigate the ground.
Okay. Oh, for what?
Any kind of anything that might go down.
That might go down. So anything off.
Sickness.
That's not used. Okay.
Anything off.
Okay, so make an investigation check for me, please. It was fine until that might go down. That's what confused me.
Sickness, that was great.
That is a 14.
Okay. All right, so Zephyr, everyone kind of sees, or those like that are not all the way already busy searching on their own, or Zephyr kind of gets down on the ground and starts like walking around, looking. I mean, you would, I mean, other than you would probably notice some fresher footprints, that are fresh. Some that look like about adult sized. Other than that, no. And what's the what's the size of the area that you're searching in, Zephyr?
Circumference.
Circumference is a word, Dan. It is a word.
Yeah,
I know.
Probably that was just like within 15 feet.
Okay, yep. You don't see anything.
If not being satisfied, then Zephyr would probably widen that radius up to about 30.
Okay, all right. Make another investigation check for me, please.
What is my investigation again? I know I just did this. That is a 16.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary, other than like just the fresh tracks from your friends. Like you find some tracks, you're like, oh, you look at them and they lead right up to Kazil. You find another, it leads right up to Pyxrin.
Zephyr will start scratching on the ground like a chicken.
Okay.
I thought he was going to
What?
start screaming for a second.
and
I'd be like, I feel that.
and expand that search radius by one more circumference of 15 feet. So up to 15 feet more, so 45 foot.
Okay, make another
Radius.
investigation check. Anyone else doing anything while Zephyr is just hanging around at the ground?
I'll do mine after.
Okay.
At 20!
Is
Yay.
Ranerius still alive?
Oh, right. Well, we'll get to you in a second, Ranerius.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say to someone that we should probably get a Jurble. If I feel that if he'd done the Osiris himself, he might not believe it. I think him being here, looking at it himself, would be important.
Yeah, we'll say that actually as you're saying that, because you might kind of look over towards the town and you'll see Jurble kind of making his way over.
No, Snap. I was going to be the one to tell him.
Wave awkwardly.
Actually,
We should talk!
I'll kind of follow Zephyr like from 10 feet behind just to see what he's doing.
Okay, all right.
And then I'm just going to say, any shinies? Anything shining?
Zephyr, your natural 20. So you're at about what, like 50 feet radius? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say that about 50 feet north, you start seeing the ground looks a little bit more disturbed here than it was below, than it was where everyone else is. Make a survival check for me, please. Yeah. And Teagan,
my survival's
we'll say
much better than
as
my
you're walking in that
investigation.
direction,
22.
Teagan's
Jeepers creepers.
walking behind you. Zephyr, you do notice with that roll, you would notice a few branches, kind of like small twigs, kind of knocked loose. I mean, you've seen it kind of on the edge of this forest before, like coming up to this point. But it seems like there's a little bit more in this area. As well as, we'll say with that survivor roll, you would see kind of maybe another set of footprints, and they seem to be coming out of the forest and stopping there. And not going anywhere near Lysadere or any more towards, just stopping right there. And you'll see kind of like a back and forth with the feet as they are stepping forward, stepping back, typical like standing movement or, yeah. Ranerius. So you went about 100 feet into the forest. Doing the detect magic, correct?
Right.
Yeah. You're not detecting any magic, but I would say at about 100 feet, you do start hearing those kind of whispered voices that you've heard before walking through this forest. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
15.
Okay. You do hear a couple of the whispers, and you hear a few kind of like jumping out of the rest, becoming a little bit more clear and pronounced of, "We need you. Help."
Who are you?
And you'll hear it back. If you've ever heard, think of it like I'm thinking like a spirit box. If you've ever like done spirit box stuff, or watched spirit box stuff being done before, where they like turn on like the radio signal and turn it on to like some static, and you hear words jumping out. So it's kind of similar to that is what I have in my head. And mages, We need you. You hear these voices, Ranerius, and you do feel with your roll, you feel a slight pull to kind of stop what you're doing and maybe try and help, but you're able to fight it off. You do hear that voice again. We need you.
I'm not right now. Thank you. And I'm going to turn around and head back towards.
Wait, and you hear that a couple of times, and then as you're running back, the voices begin to fade and fade and fade until you get towards the edge of the forest, and you see your friends through a few trees.
I forgot how creepy that forest was. That was a bad decision on my part.
Hey.
I did a little research myself.
So we'll say Jurble will probably kind of step up, and I mean, if you want to roleplay it out, you can, but we'll say that you give him let him know about the tracks. And you'll see his face. He, of course, walked up to you probably with a very, I don't want to roleplay what he would do too much, but just, it looked very concerned, very concentrating, and, his face wouldn't change as you're telling him this, and he would just kind of stand there and, look down at the ground, and, yeah.
Did a little research myself.
You found something, Zephyr? Sort of awkwardly try and break the silence.
I need more clarification.
Okay.
I would say
Looks great.
Follow you.
Teagan, since you were by Zephyr, you would probably kind of see him kind of looking at the tracks and stuff more, so you would see this as well.
I'll point out that this is the second set of tracks, right?
Oh.
Where we're standing at.
Yeah, this is the tracks. It's about 50 yards away from where everyone was checking before. That seemed to come out of the forest. Seems like a couple of sets come out of the forest and stop just outside of the line of the forest, not going any nearer Lysadere, and not really going back in.
Again?
Yeah, and I'll point that out to everybody. That there's tracks and a rendezvous point, perhaps?
Perhaps. There's no magic here, but it seems like this is probably that place where they use a teleportation or a portal or something to steal people away or to travel without being seen by the city folk. But I don't really think there's much we can do about that aside from wait and watch. But who knows when they'll do that again.
Zephyr went from looking really proud to a little deflated.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Oh, you found the
It's a good
tracks.
thing.
Oh, good job.
Alright. So what do y'all want to do now?
Right. So can we tell? I know that Ren and Zephyr clearly. You're pretty good at this survival stuff. Can you tell how old these tracks are compared to the little ones, the wee ones on the other side? If it's used frequently, then wait might be an option. But if I either seen the
Point
little
out the
ones,
broken twigs.
Yeah, I would say with I'm not sure if I said Ren, but with your roll before when finding the smaller tracks, you would have noticed them to be a couple of days old, around there. You're muted.
They're a couple of days old, guys.
Nice.
But you haven't checked the ones that Zephyr found.
Then I'll go check out Zephyr as well.
Okay, make a survival check for me.
I'll help him again. Whoop.
Okay.
22.
Roll. Okay.
Yep.
Nope, sorry, 21. Same exact roll last time.
Cool. So you look at these and they look to be around 2 days old.
Okay, these are 2 days old as well.
Really? Oh. The broken twigs that Zephyr's pointing out, are those, do they head off in the direction of these tracks, or what is it the guard? Is it all the other tracks that went into the wood? Because if it's just this one pair of tracks, then we have something we can follow and maybe get some answers.
So are you asking about the tracks or the twigs?
The broken twigs. I'm just trying
Okay.
to see if they're like on their own path with the footprints that disappear, or if it's like all like the big one where everyone went through, all the guards or whatever.
Yeah. We'll just say with your check, Ren, that you would have noticed that the twigs kind of seemed to go with the tracks.
Of which group?
You only found broken
People coming out of
right. You only found the broken twigs where the footprints were coming out of the forest and stopping just on the edge. That's where you found the broken twigs, and it seems like that it's around where the footprints emerge from the forest and stop.
So to make sure I'm understanding this picture right, so we have a set of tracks over where we were originally at.
Yes.
That was like a huge group of people, and then also a little kind
You
of
had a huge
kid
group of
tracks.
people coming in and out of the forest.
In and out.
Kid tracks coming
little kid
up to
tracks
the
coming and
forest and stopping.
And then we're over here, and there's just some kid tracks coming out.
Nope,
and stopping.
adult tracks coming out.
Adult tracks to me.
I thought they said it was kid
Nope,
tracks. Got it.
adult tracks coming out of about 2 sets of them coming out of the forest and stopping.
Good thing I asked. I thought they were kid tracks.
Yeah.
But even if we follow these, we're just following them backwards. They won't get us to where they are.
But perhaps this answers whatever. I mean, if they're living out here in the woods, they might be traveling. But what if they have an encampment or a house or a cabin or something? You know? I mean, I don't want to spend days traveling after it, but if we took a few hours and took a look.
Sure.
Perhaps.
Better than anything we got right now. If we want to keep following us.
Right. Yeah. Kind of glance at our bugbear friend.
So what's everybody's thought? Do we want to explore these?
Let's see where they go.
Okay.
Agreed.
Start following the tracks.
Got you. Sounds like a great idea.
Oh, great. A giant spirit appears in front of me and I'm dead.
Sounds
Wait,
like
which set are we trying to follow?
We're
And-
following the
adults
adult
into
ones
the
on the
woods.
side that were coming out, but then stopped
From the
coming out.
woods. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Compared to the massive ones that
It's
were like in and out and in and out.
thundering really bad. I'm right next to window. I apologize
Oh,
if anybody
damn.
no,
can
it's
hear
fine. No, I can't. I didn't hear
Alright,
No, you're
anything.
good.
I'm starting to worry that my garage is gonna flood. No joke.
Oh,
It's
no.
been raining all day.
No. Mm.
Sorry if I'm a little distracted tonight,
Nope,
guys.
you're fine.
Oh,
you're
you're
fine.
fine.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Hate tornado weather.
Tornadoes and floodwater, whatever. You know, like.
That's fine, you know.
Yeah,
Every year I
nothing
just
to
gotta
worry
be
about
fine
there.
with losing everything.
Oh,
Fine.
right? Oh no.
Okay. All right.
Just a little worried.
Okay.
So we're not going into the.
Yeah, we are going into.
So we
the
are going
forest.
into the forest.
Okay. All right.
Speak
so,
now or
which
forever hold your
project?
peace.
This is. I've watched too many horror movies. Okay.
So
I'll bring
yeah.
up the rear.
So the group of you walk into the forest. Familiar to when you came through. Even to you, Kazil, you walked through this area, kind of coming into Lysadere. And yeah, as you get about around 100 feet in, you will start hearing that kind of light whispering that you heard before. Who is wearing their necklaces still? Zephyr, Ranerius. So Zephyr and Ranerius, as you get to this 100 feet mark, and you would have noticed this before too, Ranerius, your pendants began to get, I guess pretty much as soon as you kind of stepped into the forest, they started getting a little bit warm, and they kept getting warmer and warmer about the 100-foot mark into the forest. It's really hot against your skin. You start hearing these kind of light whispers around you. And also kind of this mist almost building up from the ground. Again, this is very familiar to you because you all kind of experienced something similar when you came through before. How far are y'all traveling in?
I'm going to
Planning
relay
to.
the information that our keys are getting hot to the group.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you going past 100 feet?
If whatever trail we're following seems to pass that threshold, I would say yes.
Yeah. So who is tracking the footprints? Is that you, Ren? If you want to make a survival check for me while you're doing that. Teagan, are you helping?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that with advantage, Ren.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, then
There we
you
go.
are super fantastic at this, and I'll give you inspiration. just in case.
Hey.
This is your jam. It's
D4.
D. Oh, it's D8 now.
Oh,
sorry.
D8.
Oh man,
Mhm.
that adds right now, or do I save
Yeah,
it?
right now.
You would roll it before you find out the result.
Oh well.
Add it to-
22 then.
Okay.
Yay!
So, yes. So, Ren is kind of moving ahead of everyone. I would say Jurble's kind of probably towards the front, too, but just kind of looking around frantically, like, looking for any clue. Ren, you're following these tracks specifically, and these two tracks kind of, you'll see them kind of, like, go kind of, like, not really in any formation, but just kind of like you'll see one kind of go around a few trees this way and another, so they're not walking like side by side consistently, but they do seem to be staying together. And yeah, they are going past the 100-foot mark into the forest. So does everyone continue on past 100 feet?
I would only pause if Ranerius alerts us before that point. About
I think at the 100-foot mark he did.
Okay. What are the keys? What's hot?
Oh yeah, that's right.
The necklace things that we had before, some of us gave them to Cullem.
Oh, aye. They get hot?
Sometimes when we're near Shiga, they get hot potentially.
Oh.
Or if you're near like people that are creepy in your town that want to marry your sister, it's switches off.
Hey, you want to marry my sister?
Yeah. So, the group of you continue on. Oh, no problem. Yeah. So, does everyone continue? So everyone's continuing on, correct? Past this 100-foot mark. Just want to make sure before I continue.
Yeah, but at this point, Pyxrin's going to take out her swords.
Okay.
And be on high alert, considering the situation.
Okay.
But she's still gonna take up the rear.
Okay. Okay.
So,
all right.
Shut up, Dan.
So, okay. Everyone make wisdom saving throws for me, please.
Is this against magic?
Not really.
Okay.
Oh.
Just asking.
I'm gonna use a lucky.
Is it a charm
That's
effect?
even worse. I'm gonna use another lucky.
It doesn't charm.
Not a charm effect, no.
There we go. Nat 20.
This is
I got a 25.
wisdom.
Nice. Wisdom saving throw, please.
Dirty 20.
A very dirty 20.
Very dirty 20.
14 plus 2.
14 for you.
11.
Okay. 11 for Casillo. Interesting. And Ren, what did you roll?
8. Quick question: do I get any like benefit for it being my favorite train? I can't remember.
How long is he inspired?
Well, he's already used it.
He used it.
Oh, he used it? Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not really...
Proficiency and skill checks when intellect and wisdom. Checks related to
this
it,
is a saving throw, though, not a check.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Great.
so what was yours again, Teagan? Remind me, please. 13?
14.
14. So we'll say, Teagan, you, so everyone again hears this whispering as you're going deeper into the forest. As per usual that you've experienced, the whispering is not really like discernible to what they're saying. It's just kind of hushed whispers. That do kind of get a little bit louder from like the 100-foot mark and deeper into the forest. But Teagan, you start to hear these, help us, help. Kazeel and Ren, you begin to not only hear this, help us, we need you to help. Mages, trouble. Kazeel, you feel, what was your roll again, Kazeel? 8?
11.
11? Oh, it was Ren that got a lower number.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Kazeel, you feel a hesitance. Like, you'll stop, and you'll feel a hesitance of, like, wait, should I be helping? Should I be helping them? Am I... And then, so you'll be kind of questioning yourself for a bit. Ren, you will stop and you feel like, yes, you should be helping them.
Should be helping them.
The mages are definitely in trouble. You need to help them however you can.
I would probably say out loud as I hear this in my head. How can I help?
Yep, what?
You're gonna help too?
They need me. I'm helping them.
Someone's asking for help.
But should we?
I wouldn't do that if I were you. No, don't do it.
But I think they might need help. Those mages.
Your weapons, Ren's hearing this, put weapons down.
I'll start taking off my bow and
What are you
setting it on the
doing?
ground.
Zephyr's just gonna hiss.
Helping.
I will pull out my wand.
By helping who?
Well, those mages.
And slap
I
Ren.
think we need to help. I think. I'm not.
You just have to put your weapons down.
Do I?
Yeah.
Should
Even-
we?
They
Even though I
really,
hear
I
the
need
voices
more
still.
they
clarification.
really need to put their weapons down, Ren.
Guys, you just have to trust me.
Convince them.
It's what a good person would do, I'm sure.
Careful eyes.
What's that supposed to mean?
Help by disarming.
Yeah, by like putting our stuff down, guys, it helps.
Showing
And
us
I'll
you want to
take
help.
my arrows down.
Got
and
him
put
on the
down.
bed.
What? Did that?
Expertly
pillow
played. Definitely think back to like when you got it every time you say something.
No, I don't. There's no beds are needed. We just got to put like our stuff down.
It's the whispers. The mages are whispering.
Probably
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to
I
wrap them
think we
around
should
on the
help-
ground or something.
I don't think that they're wanting to help.
I don't hear
Yeah, why aren't you guys
anything.
wanting to help?
I don't
Ren,
hear the...
make another wisdom saving throw for me, please.
What colors failed me so far?
I feel
Come on,
like
blue.
we failed other mages. I think we should
Oh
help. but
crap!
Oh no, what did you roll?
Oh, no.
5.
Oh no.
Ren,
Sure, it's on magic.
Ren,
Come on.
you hear in your head. They're not helping us. That means they're enemies.
So I've taken off my bow and my arrows.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out my. What is it that I have? I think I just have a short sword.
The second he does that, Zephyr's just going to go.
I'm gonna pull out my short
So
sword and
bright.
point at them.
You're gonna what at them?
Just point it at them.
Okay.
Why aren't you helping?
They're not
I
helping.
don't know if we should.
I don't
Of
know
course
what
you
you're talking
should.
about.
The mages need our help. They need us to to help and put down your weapons, and it helps.
We are trying to help the mages.
They're not listening.
Let's see. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You start hearing more voices joining in with the help, 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 help. Different types of voices.
If you're not gonna help, I'll force you to help.
Excuse
you
me?
need to come to your senses, friend.
Who's the closest person to me?
Ranerius, make a persuasion check for me, please. Yeah, who would be the closest to Rin at this time?
Ranerius is in the middle.
I'm going to sneak.
Ranerius rolled a natural
Probably
1.
Zephyr.
Okay.
Right. Teagan would like to try to sneak up behind.
Okay, make a
Stealth
sneak
check?
roll, a stealth check. That's what they call it.
A sneak roll. Sneaky.
Sneaker roll.
Sneaky.
Sneaky
Sneaky
roll.
sneaky,
Very
sneaky.
sneaky.
The word completely left me.
13 plus 10.
I mean,
23.
it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. So 23. So what are you wanting to do? Make a perception check, Ren, at disadvantage.
I was gonna say, do I get to roll to see if I notice?
Make it a disadvantage since you're a little out of it at the moment.
I feel like he's
I'm
gonna
so out
go
of it.
sneaky and go.
My 8, I think, is what
Okay.
I got.
Teagan, what are you trying to do?
I will grapple him after
Okay. So
if I get behind him successfully.
you do get behind him successfully. Yeah.
Okay.
So you grapple him.
And knock I will take this.
As you're grappling him, Teagan, a squirrel pops out of his bag and just jumps onto your head and starts, like, clawing at your head.
Burrowing
shit.
into
Don't get
your
involved.
skull.
Squeaking.
Who I should help?
You mean to tell me Jeff
Tanner,
did not
yeah.
make the wisdom saving throw?
Oh,
I will
no.
try to ignore the squirrel.
It is
It's
make
clawing at you.
good lord.
No,
What-
it's claws.
what is even, I guess,
don't have stats on Pip.
Saving throw?
yeah,
Oh,
make
no.
make a constitution saving throw. That's good. Thank you.
He has 1 HP.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, you're gonna
And
punch
don't
the
forget, he's in a
squirrel.
cute little like hooded cloak at the same time.
He is.
Oh.
What was your constitution saving
6
throw?
plus 2, 8.
Okay, yeah,
Ooh.
you're trying to ignore this squirrel, Teagan, but it is pulling back your hood. It is clawing at your hair,
Oh.
just like you can feel like its little squirrel like teeth kind of biting into your head, and you can definitely feel that it's drawing blood on you. Like it's scratching your face
At this
and
point,
just
I
going
would.
to town, like just skittering.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At this point, I would. If I still have the grapple, I will. They're both going down with me, and I'm going to force Ren to the ground.
Okay. All right. Make a let's see here. Do you think
And I'm
that
like the
you would
size of a
be
small child, so.
Do you think that you would be fighting this Ren in this moment, or
With the amount of crap rolls I've had, I'm totally convinced that I need to be doing what
Yeah.
these voices are saying. So if he's trying to stop me,
He's
I
trying
would
to
probably
stop
be
you.
resisting.
okay?
Yeah.
Make a strength check for me.
At disadvantage. or
Teagan-
just regular?
No, make it at regular because you're really convinced that Teagan. Make a strength check for
Don't
me.
worry,
as
I
you
suck
grapple.
anyway. So 4.
16.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So, Ren, you try to fight him off. You know that this is that these voices are telling you that these people are not helping, that they need to be stopped. Teagan, you are able to successfully grapple him to the ground. What do you want to do? You have him pinned.
Can I react and try and swing my head back at his head?
Sure. Make a strength check for me and make a dexterity saving throw, Teagan.
19.
Okay.
24. 17 plus 7.
Whoa. Okay. So you bring your head back, Ren, but Teagan it dodges out of the way. He's able to kind of just move just in time.
I whistle for Mags.
Okay. All right.
Bigger scratches.
I will look to whoever is nearby and say, "Help me get him out of here."
Who should I help?
Make
just
another
confused.
make another wisdom saving throw for me, Kazeel.
All right, that's a little better. Wisdom is +2, so 15.
It's starting to seem like, yeah, maybe. Gosh, what was I? Yeah, I think that these voices are just voices.
Right.
You mags will come running towards you, Ren.
I'll get him off of me. Help me.
Pyxrin's definitely getting closer and pulling out the rope that she has in her bag.
Make a okay, all right, yeah. Make an animal, even though you're not technically handling him, but make an animal handling check just see how well your commands, your commands are going towards her.
Great. 7, I think. Yeah, 7.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you tell Mags to get him, and Mags just kind of like will kind of take a couple of steps towards Teagan, but then stop and kind of look at you, Ren, and look very confused. Make another wisdom saving throw for me, Ren.
All of my dice have failed me so far. Come on. There we go.
Okay.
22.
Okay. So Teagan, as you're holding him down and you yell for someone to help, and you can, I would say that you probably see Max kind of take a couple of steps towards you and then look a little uncertain. You feel kind of Ren's fight stop.
All right, friend. The voices. I think the woods is too thick with Shiga. We need to back up. You heard voices, right? I heard voices.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's okay. She just
Everybody just back up.
puts the
It's happened to me before.
back in her bag.
Oh.
It's okay.
Oh,
We should keep following these tracks, no?
I looked at Jurble.
I appreciate your hope and optimism.
I'll scurry over and pick up my stuff while this is happening.
I mean, kind of look at you, Kazeel. I want to find out, but these woods, it's up to the rest of you. If you want to continue, or if you want to go back.
I'll argue that to the group that these tracks, according to Ren and what I've seen, are at least a day or two old. Whoever was here was long gone.
Right.
The woods are just going to get more and more dangerous as we go in.
Yeah. I agree. I think if Jurble wanted us to head on, I'd follow him. But it sounds like I'm with the rest of you. Then
Am I hearing this correctly? Y'all just want to give up right now?
You're
I'm just
dead
saying.
wrong.
It's too dangerous. I mean, see these. We're starting to get near an area in these woods where there's a lot of Shiga force in here. I don't know if, we saw what happened to Ren. I don't know if we can all withstand it for much longer.
Ranerius, why do you want to keep going forward?
My chief concern is for Jurble. He's pretty set on this. He's suffered a lot of loss. I feel for you, friend.
Ryan, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good for whatever everybody wants to do.
team.
got your back.
Suddenly, the group of you here, you didn't help. And we'll go to bio break.
I'm gonna like literally set this forest on fire. I swear to God.
Last resort, burn it. Yeah.
So for those watching, we're taking a 10-minute bio break. So stay tuned, and we will be right back with some more craziness. All right, bye-bye.
Hey.
Let's just burn this
Oh my
down.
goodness.
And mics are hot.
Exciting.
So
Whee!
I need to
Guys,
check
we're
my
gonna fight
garage.
some wildebeests
Okay.
again.
God's help us.
All right, Kazeel wasn't with us last time. Now
I was
he's
not.
Oh, that was
Yay,
a fun.
I'm
That was
sure.
a fun, exciting fight.
It
It was
sounds
like
Kill me once.
deadly.
Failed
It
to
was
kill
like
me once, shame on them.
8 will-o-wisps that they were fighting, and it took forever.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I wasn't there for that one then. I was picturing the one we saw when we were camping that just like
That
showed
was
up.
the race.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh damn! Ray, spooky. I hope that Jurble doesn't get stabbed by something else. I think we got him out of this.
Yeah, he should have a little bit of blood on
Oh
him.
my gosh. Everyone form a circle around Jurble.
Yeah, back to Jurble, back to Jurble. Yeah.
Should have gotten tin foil off of Cullem.
Nice. Yeah.
For our
Yeah.
heads. Put over our heads.
Oh, no kidding. I don't feel safe in these woods. Oh, my sweet, sweet legs.
So,
So,
Nothing, just my heavy breathing into the microphone.
oh. Oy, oy, oy.
I'm blocking it. So creepy.
moving around? Like, what? That is the weirdest thing.
So great. Just you wait, chat. You're in for it.
Oh, man. Alright, I was not prepared for battle, but here we are.
Oh.
That's amazing.
I used up the last of my free trial on this.
Wow.
Worth it.
Wow.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's really cool. Mhm. What is it? Which program?
So, I kind of stole the idea off of Reddit when someone posted, like, hey, I know people are, like, using this to animate pictures of their ancestors, but I use it for my D&D characters. And I was like, oh, yes.
It's
It's called
really
My Heritage app, and it's like,
that's
what is it? It's kind of like, what's that other big, like, family tree website that's out there? I don't know. It tracks your family tree.
Ancestry?
Yeah,
Ancestry.com.
like Ancestry.com.
Okay.
But they have this app, and you can load, like, any picture into it,
That's so
and
weird.
it animates it with these
I don't like that.
robotic-looking, weird AI animations.
Nice.
Well, I thought you had figured out how to use your webcam to live animate.
Oh, no.
Oh, that'd be dope.
That's why I was
I'm
saying
not-
that should be what our chat is. It's just not
Yeah.
us. It's just our live animated characters.
I am not that talented.
Okie dokie.
Smoky.
All right, you know, let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
it's-
pretty nervous. Yeah.
I wanted to restart a campaign anyway.
Yeah, it'll
Ah.
it'll be fine. No, I didn't prepare for battles. This is going to be just theater of the mind for y'all.
Okay. Understood.
I did not expect this to happen, so you know,
You know us. We can't give it up.
can't give it up.
Only thing we can give up is a ghost.
Right. Yep.
When we die tonight.
Yeah, it'll be okay. It'll be fine.
What battle?
I'm gonna have to like.
I did ask Steph if this was the night that she was going to kill us.
Oh, really nice. Okay.
I'm just fixing a couple of things and we're ready to go back.
Which then also makes me wonder, what were we supposed to do? Were we supposed to just like, well, she's not here. Well, we'll leave now.
Yeah, for sure. Gotta follow up. Branches, the
right.
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's hope John's still back there and Lysadere to give us a ride
Oh,
when we come out of this
jeez.
forest.
He came with us, I thought. Or no, he was at the
No.
house.
300 years.
Oh man. All right. Okay, I'm gonna be. Can I move this one up to that one since I'll be going back and forth? Okay.
Maybe so.
Alrighty. Okay, I think I'm ready if y'all are. Looks like I'm sure Melissa's doing. Yeah, he should have checked her garage. So. I will just. Maybe she has a dentist initiative. Let's see here.
Initiative.
And she has. Alright, well I am going to put us live since we're way past the 10 minutes.
Nice.
Okay, so in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I did it before even I counted down.
I wasn't ready,
You
Steph.
weren't ready. I'm so sorry. Hey, welcome back. Yeah, so before break, everyone was kind of talking to each other, and you heard from behind you, you didn't help. And if you turn around, you will see you'll see 3 spirits. One has chains draped around them and touching the ground and kind of pulling at their feet. The other 2 are just kind of floating there to either side of that one. One, I would say 2 are female, 1 is male, or at least seeming, presenting. All seem to have similar dress on. So what you would probably most recognize as mage's robes. One of them in the chains has kind of a coat over. Hair is is longish, but it's kind of being kept bound by a chain that kind of like drapes across the neck a couple of times and down the torso. And of course you can see through them. So they're spirits. And they will get ready to attack. Is there anything that y'all want to do in like the second before we roll initiative?
My wand's already out, so.
Okay.
Not action wise, right? It's just like a quick.
No, that's what I'm asking for.
Oh, if I have an action, I'm going to put my hand on my shoulder and cast a spell. Do I have time for that?
Oh no, I mean just like a free action. Is what
A free
I was
action.
meaning.
Okay.
Yeah. If
Oh.
not, that's fine. Okay. All right. So everyone roll initiative for me. And I rolled for Pyxrin. Getting out of 14.
21.
Okay. So so everyone roll, then I'll go around and ask.
Oh,
That way I have them. Nope, you're fine. How dare you speak out of turn, sir?
Because I didn't finish finishing school. I don't know my place.
You didn't. Okay. Yeah.
Finishing school?
Yep. Ranerius, what's your number?
3.
Oh, bless you, child. Okay. 3. Ranerius. Wonderful. And I was about ready to ask myself. Teagan, what did you roll?
10 plus 4, 14.
Okay. Teagan. Kazeel. Not weird, creepy, animated Kazeel, but regular Kazeel. What did you roll?
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to match my thing.
It's like
21.
Looking into the eyes of his lover and just like, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. He's
Wow.
up,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, Dan.
You're rolling his head a little too much there for your typical lover's look
Trying
off.
to see her from different perspectives as he's
Yeah.
looking around. How does she look from this angle? How does she look from this angle? Ren, what did you roll?
10.
Okay.
Like a tea party in Fire Emblem.
And Zephyr.
5.
5. Okay, so that's Ren. And 5 is Zephyr. Hey, Pyxrin, do you want to roll initiative for me, please?
What the heck is that?
Some monstrosity that Joe created.
I
What's alive?
I don't even know. Let me see. Oh my goodness, 17.
It's
Okay.
better.
That's actually better than what I rolled for you, so we will keep that. Okay.
That's
All right. So, up first in initiative is Kazeel. Kazeel, before you go, we'll say that the Pyxrin to update you. You heard that you didn't help, and you turn around, and there is a female spirit kind of floating. Well, 3 spirits total floating. The middle spirit has chains kind of draped around her, with long hair kind of stuck in the chain around her neck. The other 2 spirits on either side, one's female, one seems presenting male. They're all wearing kind of similar styles and robes. The middle one wearing kind of a almost a duster over their mage's robe, what you would consider to be mage's robes. Because before you go, as you're about ready to attack, all 3 ghosts will kind of look at each other and look back and just let out this scream. Everyone make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Is it against magic?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'll give it to you this time.
8.
22.
Sorry, wisdom?
Yes, wisdom saving throw, please.
16.
14.
21.
30, 20. 18 plus 2.
Okay. Anyone with an 11, anyone with a 10 or below, which would be Ranerius, that's it? Okay, Ranerius. While the rest of you, of course, hear the scream and kind of feel it, kind of almost feel like it, I mean, it feels almost like a force that kind of comes from the ghost out to you and passes through you. Ranerius, it kind of feels like that you can kind of almost see it kind of move towards you, and as it hits you, you can't seem to get it out of your head, and it is just ringing in your ears and just echoing through your, almost through your brain, and you just feel yourself kind of go to your knees. So you will unfortunately be out this round. So Kazeel, it is your turn.
Ooh.
Turn.
Toned, perhaps. Okay. I'm so sorry. Seeing Ranerius, I'm going to use a bonus action first to shout to him, shake it off, lad. You'll be all right. We'll get through this together, and give him inspiration.
Okay.
So it's a D8 for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to put my hand on my shoulder and cast Greater Invisibility.
Okay. All right. So you cast Greater Invisibility on yourself. I'll let you keep track of that.
I'll cast that, and then I'm going to move to a different location, so I'm not standing right where I was before I disappeared.
cannot word tonight. I cannot word. I was trying to look up greater invisibility and I kept typing greater illusion. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's up to a minute. So, yeah. All right. So, that is your turn. Anything else for your turn, Kazeel?
Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Pyxrin, you are next, and then Teagan, and then Ren.
Okay. She is going to cast Dissonant Whispers towards the one with the chains.
Okay.
And, oh gosh, what's she gonna whisper?
You a goblin?
Still go with the goblin. Oh man. I don't even know anymore. I had it in my head. Let's see. Well, you are screwed, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. Whoops, I rolled the wrong thing. That's not what you roll.
So much trouble.
That's not what you roll. You silly. Gosh, I should just. Yep. Yeah. That told me I got a 6.
Okay. That was. So what was the 6 for? For Dissonant Whispers? I know they have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, the wisdom save is they gotta pass a 12.
They rolled a 16.
Dang it! If you would just take half as much.
Okay.
And
So how much damage?
I rolled a 13.
Okay. All right. So it's 7. Okay. So that is that one. Okay. All right. So you'll see the one in the chains kind of. It seems like it kind of blew off. Kind of half of your spell, but part of it still hit it, and it will kind of howl out in pain a bit. Chains rattling. And you'll start to see that there are skulls at the end of the chains that kind of pull at its feet.
Looks so cool. Wait. We're attacking. She will. I don't know how far everybody is from each other, but she would go in front of Ranerius.
Okay. All right. So you're protecting Ranerius. I would say that each of you turning around were probably about 10 feet from the spirits.
Okay, she's gonna move that to get in front of him.
Okay. All right.
And that will end my turn.
Okay. So that Teagan, it is your turn. Then Ren.
Okay. So there's 3 of them, right? One you said had.
Yes,
long
there's
chains?
3 of them. There's one in the middle with chains, and the 2 on either side just seem like spirits that you faced before.
Okay, so the one in the middle with the chains, I will cast Moonbeam.
Okay.
5-foot cylinder radius, 40-foot high, centered on him.
Okay.
Yes, Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
He has to beat a 13.
That he did, or that
Alright,
she
so
did.
So it takes half damage. Radiant.
Okay.
7 radiant. Half of that is 3.
Okay.
And okay, after each turn I can move it. So I can use my action to move it, but yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. And bonus action, hide. I will hide.
Okay. All right. That takes care of you. And Ren, you're up next, and then the baddies, and then Zephyr.
Mags is gonna run up to the one with skulls.
Okay.
and try and bite it,
All right.
even though it's a ghost. Shkow. And that's a 1.
I guess I should have been paying attention to that. Okay. Yeah, well, that does not hit. In fact, Max kind of runs up to bite it and ends up just kind of running through the spirit.
Nice.
Kind of tripping on one of the chains.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did she stay within 5 feet of it?
Yeah, I would say that she would have ended up on the other side of
Sounds great.
the spirit.
Then for my turn, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark
Okay.
on the same one.
All right.
And then I'm going to attack.
Okay.
And because... No, that's the wolves get advantage because when there's someone next to it. Right, how does sneak attack work, Teagan? Do I get that? That's just a +6 die 6. It's not anything for my roll, right?
Right,
Right.
it's additional damage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
your
Okay, so
level of
I'm
approach
shooting
is.
at him with my bow.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh.
Natural 20. And your bow's non-magical,
Nice.
correct?
Correct, I know, it's not as great.
Roll,
but it's going
roll
to be...
that beautiful extra damage. Double
Going to
damage.
be sneak attack and... wound, that's what it is. I was like, I get 3 dice, but why do I get 3 dice? 7, 8 damage.
Okay. And that's just
well, I
regular,
guess that's
right?
not doubled.
So
Yeah, that's not-
16. Which is... But then it's just brought down to half because he has
Yeah,
because they have
'cause it's
resistance.
not magical.
So
That's
yeah,
a fine.
so
And then
yeah, you'll see
Okay.
the I mean it seems like you feel like it's a pretty good shot, Ren. Hits it, but it definitely seems to kind of whoosh through it, but it does kind of nick something kind of in the center of it.
and so I have my bonus action also to hide, but I also have more attacks. Can I attack and hide still? Do a second attack and hide again?
Well, with cunning action, you can hide as a bonus action.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So then I should be able to attack again. Okay, so I'm gonna attack again.
Okay.
22.
That hits. This is with your
9.
arrow still, correct?
Yep, 9
Okay.
piercing damage.
All right, so that is halves. So the same thing. You can kind of see that it kind of hits something in the center, but it doesn't quite give full damage there.
And then I'm going to bonus action hide.
Okay. All right. Yeah, there are plenty of trees around, so you can definitely find easy places to hide. All right. So that brings us to one of the outer souls, not one of the ones in the chain in the chains. It is their turn, and they are going to. Let's see here. Oh boy, I forgot about all of this. All right, so everyone make a wisdom saving throw, please. Kazeel,
Yes.
where did you move to? Did you move within 60 feet of the creatures?
I'm still within 60 feet of them, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, everyone.
We all started that close, didn't we?
Yeah, you start within 10 feet. Of
Okay, yeah. I'm still
ghosts.
within 60.
Okay, so yes. Yes, Ren?
Is this against magic?
Yes.
Is it against Charmed?
No.
Okay.
So
too.
yeah. Okay.
13.
Wisdom saving throw.
This is everybody.
Everyone. Yes, with yeah.
Okay. 10.
It's 2.
I got a 10 as well.
11.
All right.
15.
Okay. So anyone with
Party
a
died.
15 or below.
Ugh.
Okay. Okay. All right. That was gonna be interesting. Okay. So anyone with a 15 or below, you are frightened for 1 minute. Okay. Did anyone get below? Did anyone get 10 or below? Okay. Pyxrin and Zephyr, could you roll a d4 for me?
Sure.
You turn to stone.
2. Zephyr rolled a 2.
Okay.
We must be on the same wavelength because I
2.
rolled the same thing.
Okay. So the rest of you, even the ones that are frightened, you suddenly feel that kind of fear kind of grip hold of you, and you can re-roll that saving throw with each of your turns. So, but you feel that fear kind of grip hold of you. But as you're kind of looking around frantically, you see Pyxrin and Zephyr, who also look afraid, all of a sudden change. Both becoming about 20 years younger than they are now. Which would...
This is why I had Beyonce.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think
Zephyr's
that...
an egg.
Not quite.
How old is Zephyr?
Zephyr's 25, so Zephyr's now 5 years old.
So Zephyr is
baby.
He's a baby. I mean, it's not like a chick, but you see, kind of a smallish Kenku-like creature. They're kind of, too little for its clothes. The clothes are kind of like his cloak's kind of like completely covering him. So basically, you would see just like a little lump under cloaks.
Oh my gosh, I'm 220 now.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
nice.
Pyxrin's a little bit less noticeable, but you see she looks a little bit less, I guess, world weary than she was before. All right, and let me just make sure there's nothing else here for that one. Yeah, so anyone who was frightened, they can re-roll on their turn.
What if we were made 5?
What if you're what?
Made 5.
No.
Been frightened.
Unfortunately, you cannot roll for that to go.
You just get to relive the rest of your life.
Undone.
It's good. It's good. I still have my own knowledge, though, right?
Okay.
Can I cast spells still?
That's a TPK laugh.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You. Well. Okay. We'll say that you'll still be able to cast spells, but it'd be at a disadvantage with any kind of rolls you need to make. Okay. All right. All right. So that was that one's turn. Now the other one on the other side kind of steps forward, and will. Oh man. Okay, so Pyxrin, as you got in front of Ranerius, because I think you might be the closest one to them right now. You see this spirit. It's kind of on, we'll just say one of the sides of the change spirit. The spirit kind of steps and kind of like looks around the group slowly and stops as it looks at you and immediately starts like floating towards you. Give me a charisma saving throw, please.
Get away from me. I'm too pretty to die. Charisma?
Yes.
Oh, 23.
Okay. All right. So you see this ghost kind of move towards you, Pyxrin, and it almost comes right up to you, but then it seems like in an instant it's back where it started, and yeah, it's back about 5 feet away from you. Kind of now looking up to the rest of the group and not just at you. Let me just make sure. Okay. All right. And then we have the one in the chains. That's next. Who is going to? Okay. So, let's see. I'm just going to do this way. Where's a D8 at here to see who it... Because I think everyone actually will use away from that, so... Oh, great, of course. Pyxrin. You see the one in the chains will take one of the chains and whip it back and try to attack you. That is a 19 to hit.
Ooh. Did that ghost move away from where Mags was?
No.
Oh, okay.
It has a reach of 10 feet.
I got you.
Misses.
Okay. All right. So you feel the kind of chain kind of whip right beside your head, Pyxrin. And I swear I'm rolling for these. It will throw another chain back, Pyxrin, and try to hit you again. Oh, and that will definitely miss. So it whiffs on the other side of your head, Pyxrin. You are feeling picked on.
What the heck is going on?
So it is now Zephyr's turn. So the rest of you see Zephyr kind of like the cloaks kind of move about a bit, and you see Zephyr kind of like this little Kenku kind of like, little Kenku chick kind of poke its head out and look around. And then after Zephyr, it's Ranerius and then Kazil.
All right, so Zephyr's technically frightened, or just small?
Nope, you're frightened and small.
So Zephyr...
So you have to make another... Yes, you have to make another saving throw. Wisdom saving throw, please.
Am I making this at disadvantage?
No,
As a 5-year-old?
No, I'll go ahead and say that you can just roll it straight. We'll give you something.
I rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
No.
So you are still frightened, yes. Yeah, so you see this little Kenku just start crying. Just completely out of it. But you can still attack.
Or do I... Good.
Yeah, you can still attack. It's just at disadvantage, which you were going to have anyways. So
right. Mm-hmm. So
and you can't move closer to it, of course.
Mm-hmm. How far away is it from me?
It's about 10 feet from you. All three of them. So whichever one you want to go after.
Great. So, okay, I need to roll for this. All right. So you guys don't want above an 80. What did that get you, though? Okay, that's not better. All right, little Zephyr is going to cast a spell.
Okay.
Called Storm Sphere.
Okay.
Centered, like, behind the spirits.
Okay.
So this is a 20-foot radius sphere.
Okay.
And I want it to where it's overlapping them and not necessarily everyone in the party.
Okay.
So no one in the party, if that's possible.
Okay, you will be hitting Mags. Because Mags is right behind the chained one.
Always
Okay.
Max.
So every creature in the sphere, when it appears or that ends its turn there, must succeed on a strength saving throw.
Okay. Is this for a condition?
Nope.
Okay, just want to make sure. The strength saving throw.
Yep.
Okay. What does it have to beat?
Let me tell you. It has to be to 16.
Okay, nope. Nope. Okay, so So the two, let me just double check that. Yeah. The two on either side of the chained ghost. The chained ghost saved. The two on either side of it do not.
Okay. So those two are gonna take
And let me know what kind
8
of
bludgeoning
damage.
damage.
Okay.
It is magical
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because it's a spell. And then Zephyr's going to use a bonus action to cause a bolt of lightning to leap from the center of the sphere towards the chainy one. And this is an attack roll, which I have disadvantage on.
Okay, yes.
But I get advantage on it if the target's in the sphere, so it's a wash.
Okay.
So it's just... for 9. Not 1.
Okay, so 9 damage or 1 to hit?
1 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't hit. So Mag, since she was in that sphere...
Yeah, 21.
Okay.
Roll.
All right. Okay.
She didn't take damage.
Right.
She good.
Wonderful.
Oh, and it's difficult terrain.
Okay. All right. I don't know if that would bother things floating, but...
I mean, it's difficult. It's like it's a storm.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Like,
got you.
Really
okay.
high velocity
Okay.
winds and stuff like that.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else for your turn?
That will be all.
Okay. All right. That means it is Ranerius' turn and then Kazeel.
I'm out or dazed or incapacitated
That's
or
right.
something.
This is your first time. So yeah, you kind of start coming out of it, Ranerius, so you'll be ready to go on your next turn. Yeah. Did you Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so yeah, you have to skip this turn. So Kazeel, it is your turn, and then Pyxrin, and then Teagan.
Okay. These creatures, they were all sort of grouped a little bit next to one another?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Would they be within 15 feet? I want to put them in a 15-foot cube. I've got a 15-foot cube.
They're
spell.
within 15 foot of each other, yes.
Okay. Let's see, what's my... So I'm going to approach them and then cast Invisibly. Reach around and clap my hands together and let out a thunder wave. It's a big booming sound, and they have to make Constitution saving throws with a DC of 16.
Okay. Is this for a condition?
I don't think there are any conditions. Let's see. Nope, it's just if they fail, they take the full damage and get pushed 10 feet away. It'll be 5 feet, I guess, if they're in the thing. On a successful save, they just take half damage. And they're not pushed.
And what saving throw? What type of saving throw was it?
It is a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 16.
Okay. They all fail.
Okay. I'm gonna roll that.
Push them further into the sphere.
Nice. That's not a ton. But that's 8 points of thunder damage, in case that matters. And that will move them. I mean, normally 10 feet, but I think because difficult terrain, would just be 5 feet further in.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so they're pushed back 5 feet and still within the sphere, though. That Zephyr.
Okay. I'm going to use the rest of my movement as if that's okay. I feel like I actually get an extra 10 feet of movement.
Were you frightened, Kazeel?
Oh, right, I was. I can't get close enough to do that. That sucks.
Yeah.
I can't approach any closer. I was not next to them.
You cannot.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean,
okay.
Sure. Apologize.
In that case, I'm
also make a wisdom saving throw to see if you're still frightened.
Oh, if that's at the end of my turn, I'm going to do something that'll affect that for my turn
that's fine.
instead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. In that case, I have to keep my distance. I just, moderate, bit away.
Yes.
And I'm going to start pull out Binad's violin, start playing a tune, and use Counter Charm. I'm performing until the end of my next turn, so they can't see me, but they'll hear the violin. And during that time, I and any friendly creature within 30 feet of me that can hear this gains advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to start out, I'm going to pick at it. You didn't really like staccato notes and very dissonant. And then I'm going to make it play out to a nice mellow tone, calming, relaxing tone to try and pull people out of it.
So would you be within about 30 feet of the rest of the party, do you think? Or
I
think the rest of the party is pretty in the same positions that they were before.
Okay. Yeah, I had backed up a little bit and gone out to the side, but it's 30 feet, so probably.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Okay. And what is my...
it's a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. Okay. Okay. That's not terrible. No. 17?
That you are no longer frightened. Yeah, it just suddenly doesn't seem as scary to you, Kazeel.
I'll keep playing till the end of my next turn. That's it for me.
All right. Excellent. Pyxrin, it's your turn, and then Teagan, and then Ren.
Okay. So, I'll need to roll, right? For the frightened?
For the frightened, yes. That's at the end of your turn.
Okay. So, it disappeared. Okay, so she's going to... she's going towards the one with the chains because she feels like she's terrified, and then she's like...
Now you can't move any closer to it since you're frightened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's not going to move, but she's like scared and kind of shaking a little bit, and then she's like, why are you picking on me? And cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
It's instant, and they have to make a dex save of... they got to surpass 13.
Okay, it fails.
Okay.
I'm gonna change out this D20. I'm not doing very well with this one.
It's like, no, man. Roll for that is 9 damage.
Okay, so 9 damage.
It's radiant damage.
Okay. Yeah.
And then as her bonus action, she is going to... oh, that's not it.
Now, I will say that you are within 5 feet of the Chainer Ghost, so... And the Chainer Ghost is looking really rough.
Oh, I know what she's going to do. Okay, she's going to, as her bonus action, she's going to do the spiritual weapon and do like the whole hammer... sweet roll hammer with the sprinkles and everything.
All right. As you summon your spiritual weapon, the ghost with the chains on it will just rattle them and scream out at you again.
You're not very nice.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, me. Is that a... Oh, I'm reading the spell real quick. I apologize. Oh, it's lasts 1 minute long.
You also notice that as this ghost in the chains looks a little bit more rough, you can almost see a ghostly heart in its chest start to reveal itself.
That's disgusting.
Also wrapped in chains.
Damn.
Oh my gosh, so it'll take
Anyone here pick locks?
12 force damage.
12 force damage?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. How do you want to add any flair to this? Because that Chainer Ghost is Gonzi. You hit it and you'll see like the heart just kind of like, the chains just kind of tighten around it, and the ghost will scream into your face
the hammer just kind of goes plow right into the side of her head.
Yeah. You'll see it kind of, it will seem like it lands, surprisingly. It will just kind of like move to the side and with one final scream just kind of dissipate. And it seems like the scream just kind of echoes in the space around everyone in the trees.
Is it gone? Is it gone? Is it gone? Like,
this house is clear.
The other two ghosts look at each other and look at the space where their comrade was and then look to you, Pyxrin, and scream as well.
Dang it. She's got that oh shit look on her face. She's gonna move behind Ranerius.
Okay.
Nice.
Behind her, squishy.
Oh, make your wisdom saving throw.
Betrayal.
Make it at advantage too because of the counter charm.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So, wisdom save. What I get? 14?
You still feel frightened from these two ghosts that just screamed at you. It almost seems like with this second failed save that they almost seem to, in your sight, grow larger and more scarier. And you can almost see like mist start developing underneath them.
She's like starting to look up and shaking as she goes behind Ranerius as she starts screaming.
The rest of you hear this like scream, Ranerius, right in your ear.
She's like, I'm sorry, she hit me.
I'm also very, very sorry.
All right, anything else for your turn, Pyxrin? Okay. It is Teagan's turn and then Ren.
Okay. That spell that Kazeel cast, that moved them...
it didn't count because I couldn't move up there after all. I just ended up doing the count.
But your blast moved them, right? Moved
yeah,
them.
It moved them 5 feet.
It didn't count though.
Okay.
I couldn't approach him because I was frightened after all.
Right.
So I had to do counter.
But did they move or not? No, it doesn't really matter. Okay, because
I never cast it. Yeah.
My moonbeam was on the one that was chained, so. As for my action, I will move my moonbeam to one of the other ones. I can move it up to 60 feet. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, the other two are just there within about 15 feet of each other. So.
Okay, so I'll move it to whatever you want to call it, one or two.
All right,
just
sure.
One of them.
Sure.
And they have to make a Constitution save, 13.
Did we lose Joe?
I think the Kazeel picture got him.
It failed.
It failed? All right, so it's going to take full damage. All right. 3 and 3, 6. 6 radiant.
Okay.
And I will bonus action hide.
All right. All right, cool. Anything else for your turn, or is that it?
Nope, that's it.
Ren, you're up, and then R2.
Oh, I was frightened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Advantage, don't forget, for counter charm.
Wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saving throw. 16 plus 2, 18.
That passes. They don't seem as scary anymore, Teagan.
Thank you, Kazeel. Because the other one was a 1.
Okay. All right. So next, it's Ren, and then our baddies will be up.
Is there a ghost that is within 5 feet of another person?
Well, you still have Mags there. Mags is probably within 5 feet of one of the ghosts. Yes.
Well, but that's where Mags is going to move towards the one that's next to someone. So I'm asking on behalf of Mags.
I mean, I think I said Pyxrin was within 5 feet of one of them.
That one didn't die, didn't
it? Yes. So no.
Was that the one that I was attacking originally?
There is no one within 5 feet of the two ghosts that are left.
Okay. Then Mags is going to move towards one of them.
Okay.
and attack.
All right.
With a 10.
That does not hit.
Okay.
Not land. You see
No
Mags
worries.
kind of try to bite, but kind of goes right through them.
Yeah. Because the one that I did have my Hunter's Mark on died, I'm shifting my Hunter's Mark to the one that Mags is now attacking.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack with my bow. For me, that is a 22 to hit.
That would hit.
That is 15 points of piercing damage.
All right. So you see it kind of hit it a bit, but it just kind of not quite as well as you would expect. So it does only take half of that damage.
Then I'm gonna attack again.
So let's see here.
21
That would hit.
and 13 points of damage.
Okay, so that would be again the same thing there.
And then I will bonus action hide.
Okay. Great.
Do I do a wisdom throw because I was never frightened, or is that a constant thing for everybody?
Nope. If you were never frightened, then you do not need to do a saving throw.
Sounds great.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get these things fixed really quick.
You're fine.
Middle left is Zephyr. And bottom left is Ranerius. Okay. All right.
Flash conceal.
Should be it. Okay. All right. So, I'll fix that. Wonderful. Okay. That's super weird. Okay, but whatever. All right. So, we have the two ghosts that are up next. Okay. All right. Okay, I don't think that it would do that one again. But, how close did you move to the ghost, Ren?
I didn't move at all.
Okay.
So I'm still a ways away, but Mags is within 5 feet of the one we were attacking.
Okay. So it's...
If Mags is still in the storm sphere, she needs to make another strength saving.
Oh, does she need to make another one? Okay.
If she's ended her turn there.
Yeah, 18 for that.
Yeah, she's good.
Okay, so you have greater invisibility on you. Ranerius, where are you at currently? How far are you away from the ghosts?
How far were they when they showed up? Because I didn't.
10 feet away.
Moved.
Okay.
So I'm 10 feet away from
Okay.
ghosts.
All right. So you see one of the ghosts kind of like look around at the group, and its eyes land on you, Ranerius, and it will start moving towards you, just directly staring at you the entire time. Could you make a charisma saving throw for me, please?
Is this a spell I see being cast, or?
Nope.
Okay.
Is that the one that was next to Mags?
It's just
You have
looking hungry.
Inspiration. It's a D8 to the spell if you need it.
Thanks. I might need it. Charisma saving?
Yes.
Don't need it. 21.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
So you see it kind of move towards you, and it moves back to its spot. All right. So the
Make sure
other.
the Christmas save, like.
And what was the strength? It was a strength saving throw, Zephyr, for.
Yep.
The sphere?
Strength saving throw for either of the spirits that are ending their turn in the storm sphere.
All right. So I think that one failed. It was a 9. So what does it take?
It takes 2d6 magical bludgeoning damage. That's 2. It takes 2 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Snake eyes. Yes.
All right. And so the other spirit will look around and yeah. Since this one was not the one that cast it before, everyone make a wisdom saving throw.
Is that a spell?
Yes.
I'm gonna counterspell it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you see it kind of start to build up some energy there, Ranerius, and you cast Counterspell.
So if it's a third level spell or lower, it's automatically dispelled. If it's fourth or higher, I have to make a intelligent or a spellcasting ability check.
It doesn't really say. What do I do then? Is it considered a spell then, or no? It's an action.
Is it a spell-like ability?
If it's a spell-like ability, then
it doesn't give like a level.
Different.
It doesn't give a level.
Yeah, that's not a spell then.
Okay.
It's just.
Sorry,
yeah.
Ranerius.
That's okay. Do I burn that slot then?
No, you don't. No.
Okay.
I hope not.
No. Okay. So everyone make a wisdom saving throw, and don't forget, because you're still playing your thing, Kazeel.
I am. That's right.
His thing. Yes.
Yeah. Just give me a minute.
Right.
Right. Was a one.
Now is not the time for that.
All the time.
12. So even with advantage, I rolled a 9, so I'm gonna burn my last lucky.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, don't forget your inspiration too.
Oh,
your D8.
you know what? Inspiration, not lucky. Inspiration.
Oh, we still have the advantage thing on?
Yeah.
Oh, plus 8, 17.
Nice.
All right. Good. Anyone roll 15 or below?
Ooh, I got 25.
Throw. Some saving throw. 17 this time.
Wonderful. Okay.
Did you roll with advantage, Ren? Because I have the song playing. The counter charm. Okay.
Oh wait, what did Ren roll?
13.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm fixing another camera again.
You just gotta all put your weapons down, guys. It's fine.
guys, drop your weapons. These are friends.
Okay.
These are friends.
All right.
It's fine.
Okay, so everyone, you feel like this kind of something tried to take over you, but you're able to fight it off. Ren, suddenly these things seem like this one spirit in particular seems very terrifying to you. So you are frightened for now. Okay. And then you can roll that again on your at the end of your next turn. Also, roll a 1d4 for me, please.
Yes.
Oh no! Wait a minute. What was your roll again?
13.
Okay, no, you don't roll 1d4. You're just very frightened. All right, so that is it for them. So Zephyr, it is your turn, then Ranerius, then Kazeel.
Huzzah! Okay, so crying baby Zephyr.
Yes, crying baby Zephyr. Still frightened.
Would you say that in relation to me, the spirits are in a perfect line?
What? They, I do kind of picture them. They are not like in a perfect line out from you, but they are perpendicular to each other, about 15 feet.
Okay, so with me, we make a triangle.
Yes, correct.
And not
that's it.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. Yeah, so just gonna cast lightning bolt on one of them, okay. I guess.
All right.
It has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Couple with the rose tonight. 11.
It failed. It takes 27 lightning damage.
Okay.
Nice.
It does show a little bit of resistance to the lightning damage.
Just
So,
wrapping my head around baby Zephyr firing a
27,
lightning.
so that's still 14 points of damage though. Yeah, one of the spirits is looking particularly rough.
Okay,
Looking
and then on
a little more
that
faded.
same one,
Sure.
as a bonus action,
Sure.
because Storm Sphere is still active,
Yes.
it's going. I'm going to make a spell attack roll against it.
Speaking of
as
which, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Lightning jumps out at it. Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay. It takes 15, so 8 more lightning damage.
Okay. Still standing, but looking extremely rough. Also, I forgot to make the saving throw for the other spirit, the second spirit that went. So how much is that damage for the sphere again at the end of their turns?
Oh, 2d6 bludgeoning.
Okay.
5.
Okay. All right. Anything else for your turn, Zephyr? Baby Zephyr.
Let's see. Yes. Baby Zephyr is just going to go, "Who's the daddy?"
Great. Wonderful. And that is Ranerius' turn. And then Kazeel.
Okay.
So I see in front of
Oh, wait.
me.
I need to make that wisdom saving throw with advantage, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
18? That going to do
Yep.
it?
They no longer seem that terrifying. You're still a baby.
Cheeky little thing.
So I'm seeing two spirits in front of me. One is noticeably less.
Yeah, it's starting to kind of fade out a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the healthier looking one,
Yes.
I'm going to cast Banishment.
Okay.
It has to make a
Sounds like a great
charisma
job.
saving throw, but I'm going to use Portent, and that'll be a 1.
Okay. All right.
And if the creature is native to a different plane of existence than the one you're on, the target is banished with a faint popping noise, returning to its home plane. If the spell ends before 1 minute has passed, the target reappears in the space left or in the nearest unoccupied space. Otherwise, the target doesn't return.
It doesn't return if what?
If it's native to a different plane of existence.
All right. Yeah, so you see a little popping happen, and one of the more healthier looking ghost is gone.
Bye-bye. So as long as I don't take damage or lose my concentration, it won't come back.
Within a minute, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Anything else for your turn?
I guess I gotta make the fear save.
That is true. Yes, you do.
They'll have
With
advantage
advantage?
if I'm still playing.
My God, it doesn't help. All right, last lucky. Here we go. Rolled a 3 and a 4 because I'm a doofus.
Oh, crazy.
Man.
And a 2. Great. So out of all of those,
No.
I'm 8.
Oh, man. That's the worst.
Yeah. Yes, this remaining ghost, even though it's fading out, you suddenly feel another wave of terror pass over you. What if more show up? What if this is just the beginning?
I run 30 feet backwards.
Okay, all right. The rest of you just see Ranerius
Hey,
just
does he
running
trip over me?
in the opposite direction.
Because I'm right behind him. Does he trip over me?
He'll probably almost run into you, sure.
Oh, Nice.
You would just see Ranerius turn around and just scream and just start running past you.
Okay.
I picture like a slow turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. All right. So that means it is Kazil's turn, and then Pyxrin, and then Teagan.
All right. Well, while I'm still invisible, I'm gonna sheath the bow, spin the Binad's violin around, put it in its sleeve in the back.
Yes.
And walk up to the one remaining creature.
All right.
And once again, I'm gonna, present the spell and do the thunder wave with a big clap of my hands. I'm actually gonna cast it up at 3rd level, but it is I'm gonna target it so it's just it in that 15-foot cube, as long as that's possible.
Okay.
And it needs to make a Constitution saving throw, the DC of 16.
It passed.
Okay. So it won't be moved, but it will take half damage.
Okay.
This time it's 48. I'm casting it level. All right, those are some good rolls. All right, that's 13, 21, 20,
all right.
23, so half a 20.
How do you want to do this?
I want to get up so close that when I clap it, I'm actually gonna just do the clap like right in front of its little chained heart and try and blow it out.
Okay, well, this one doesn't have a chained heart, but
it sucks.
It is a fading spirit, so
no, I'm just gonna have it like try and blast it out and dissipate.
All right, so you'll see it kind of look at you as you approach Kazil, and it will kind of let out one of those ethereal screams at you as you get within that kind of close range of it. And when you cast your spell, you see it just kind of like look down and all of a sudden just like burst back into nothing. And y'all are out of combat. Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, you still have the one banished, but...
Gotta wait out the minute.
Alright. So I would say that y'all are able to, y'all are able to kind of wait around for a minute, just kind of watching Ranerius as he's holding on to this banishment, and we'll say that the minute passes. Nothing returns.
Does our fear go away if everything's all banished?
Your fear goes away. And Pyxrin, you still feel a little bit younger. And Zephyr is still a baby.
Oh.
Don't
you think that one's coming back?
So you see this little, foot-tall Kenku just kind of with clothes trailing behind him.
Try, trying to get out of heavy armor. Like plate mail. Like adult plate mail.
He's being crushed. Get out of there. Do we have Pyxrin, do you have anything to undo effects like that? Anything restorative? Anyone for that matter?
Remove cuss.
I can try to remove the magical effect, but I don't know that'll work.
Wait, is that with Dispel Magic?
Yes.
Wait, I suppose Zephyr first, as he's in a bit more need of it. No offense, excellent.
Okay.
I will walk over and cast Dispel Magic on Zephyr.
Okay. So you walk over and you go over to Zephyr's foot-tall Kenku body as it's, kind of shuffling around in the armor, and you cast...
I won't touch you, I swear.
Dispel Magic, and nothing happens.
There's the bats.
They're so cute, but how?
I tried.
I suppose we'll have to head back into town. see if we can find a cleric or someone that can maybe remove this.
I found the fountain of youth.
I mean, right, if you don't want us to remove it, I mean, I don't understand.
Pyxrin's like, I need to become a ghost so I can cast this on myself.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome.
Pyxrin becomes like Michonne in The Walking Dead, except it's zombies. It's just ghosts that she makes cast.
Nice.
Horrifying.
Yeah. I've got a big night. Just make this happen. I mean, otherwise, I mean, can we really bring Zephyr through the woods to continue this as a babe? It's just a be done.
There you go. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I think it might be a good idea to head back. But let's help him out of. He kind of looks engulfed in all of that.
Hey, I'm gonna pull back in some of the armor and like open up, get an opening so he can get out or be lifted out.
Thank you for facilitating that meeting. It was really helpful.
Oh, my heart!
Teagan will reach down and offer a hand to Zephyr if he wants to.
Yeah, Zephyr will hesitantly.
I don't know what his size would be like, but sit on his shoulder or perch on his shoulder.
Nice.
He's not that small. He was like 4 foot something, so now he's probably like 2 foot something.
No, I said a little bit over a foot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
He did.
Let's get back.
Bitty.
Right, back to the city then.
Yeah, do we want to get out of here before it comes back?
Hey.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jurble.
I think that we tried. That's what matters.
I mean, we did. No. Just kidding.
Oh man!
Damn.
Brutal.
You're looking to get excommunicated from this group?
Sorry.
Quick dunk on him while he's down.
That's
I'm just teasing.
You are
It's the end of my
banned.
sass, I promise. Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not, but I'll try.
All right. So
Right.
the group of you are starting to head back.
Yeah, Pyxrin's gonna try to pick up as much as she can with the cloak and
Okay.
whatever else Zephyr
Sure.
had.
Yeah, you does seem to be struggling quite a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy.
Yeah, his stuff's especially heavy because he has extra stuff in his bag, in his pockets. As you're like picking up everything, like you see this like medallion with the eye that he's shown before fall out. Yeah.
Is it alright if I just take this thing and leave everything else?
Rude. Excuse me, I'm sensitive.
Okay. She just takes the medallion.
See that Jurble is probably
She doesn't know what
already
else to do. Like, there's so
started
much
back.
stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff. He needs all the stuff.
Anybody
I'll help
help?
carry it if you need it. I guess I'll ask back if we make it back to town before anyone else, unless anyone has anything. Just ask around for like the local cleric.
Sure. Well, you haven't made it back to town yet, but okay. Yeah. So the group of you start back. I mean, you still have the forest to go up until that point. You do start to hear the whispers on your way out. That mist is starting to dissipate a bit, but the whispers are still a little bit prevalent. So everyone make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Is this magic? It wasn't before. It wasn't before when I did the roll.
21.
And
Okay.
14.
Plus 18 plus not dirty 20.
24. Excuse me.
What did Zephyr and Ranerius roll?
7.
10.
Okay.
So, little bird.
So Zephyr, you suddenly, the rest of you hear the voices, and you hear that whispering. Zephyr, you suddenly start hearing some more word. Help, 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 help us. And you can see, everyone sees Zephyr kind of like, kind of looking around. Ranerius, let me see here. You are definitely feeling that pull. I won't say that. I will say that probably since you went through it before and you were kind of expecting it, that you're able to fight it a little bit. But there is a part of you that feels horrible for not stopping to help, for not helping and just keep walking. Almost to where you almost have to force yourself to walk forward. You have to make concentrated steps in order to fight this. And
I'm feeling the pull of the forest again.
You hear the helps kind of ring in your ears, and it sounds like screams in the distance, and the smell of burning that's in your nostrils. This is just for Ranerius, as you're taking each step forward towards the edge of the forest. Yeah, so y'all continue on. The whispers start to die down, as does the mist, and you can start seeing kind of through the trees ahead, more into the clearing that you would know would be where Lysadere is. You exit through. Some of you with keen eyes, like Ren and Teagan, noticing the footprints that you saw, coming out of the forest and stopping in that certain position, and right there at the edge, you walk past and towards Lysadere. So it's still, y'all were eating breakfast, so it's probably like late day by now, like not evening. The sun is still out, but on its way down. And you have Lysadere in front of you. Is there anything that y'all want to do? What do y'all want to do now that you're here?
Find a cleric.
Or John, yeah.
Okay.
Your cleric is so unuseful. So you gotta find another cleric.
Are you? So
And you do.
So who are you going after? Who are you going? One of you said cleric, one of you said John. So who?
I'm going for the cleric for sure. Or
Okay.
church, whatever.
Okay. One of the main churches there is the Church of Lysadere, which y'all had kind of walked through before.
Let's go there. There's some cursed weapons that I really want to reacquire.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Look at you.
Oh, nice.
I will say, let me just find my notes for that.
5-year-old negotiating skills.
Hello.
I want it. Yeah.
For
I would very
real.
much
Okay,
like
so
my nap.
I would say that as the group of you walk in, you run into so you go into the church, which as you go into that kind of open foyer area of the one rock mountainside, you see the double doors in the back that lead to the Church of Lysadere. You go through and you see the kind of the wooden pillars that make up the church inside this cavern. And again, I think I mentioned that it almost seemed like the cavern was almost built around the temple. Almost, they seem to fit together perfectly. As you walk in, you'll see some dancers in the front of the chapel. Looks like mostly female drow. Their hair kind of flowing behind them. Some of them in braids with swords, and they seem to be twirling around and doing some sort of ritualistic dance, which you would recognize Pyxrin. And as you walk in, you'll see someone kind of turn towards you, a drow woman with kind of dark bluish purple hair and with these kind of golden flecks, accentuate markings on her face. she'll turn towards the group of you. And this is Javaka, that you recognize, who is kind of the sword dancer elite of the temple.
Javaka might know.
Oh, I didn't know you were back in town. Welcome. What can I do?
Our friends were
You seem to have
afflicted.
far greater power than any of us.
Did you pick this one up? Is this... It's a...
Oh,
Where is your other friend?
He is our other friend.
Oh. She'll kind of walk over and kind of look, kind of with a slight smirk on her face.
We had
Okay.
a bit of a run-in in the forest.
We'll look up at the rest of you. I was about to ask. Well, yes, I can work on this one certainly. Please, bring him. Oh, no, we can do it here. It's fine. And she will. If you could set him down, please. Unless you want to be holding an adult Kenku.
Teagan will
What's-
set him down.
Okay. She will lean down and just kind of put her hands not really on your face, Zephyr, but kind of hovering about 3 inches from your body and your face. And you start to feel kind of the magic move through you. And you will see her kind of like step back as she's anticipating, and you start to feel yourself your body begin to change and your body's changing and begin to
super fast puberty. Yeah.
and
Oh.
yeah, and the rest of you see Zephyr kind of grow up to what he was before, what you know him
A
as.
big naked Kenku.
A big naked Kenku.
So that's how that all works. Okay. I wasn't sure of it.
And,
Zephyr will
Welcome
strike
back.
a pose.
uh-huh.
Quite the looker.
And with that, we'll end tonight's session.
Nice.
So yeah, thank you, chat. Thank you, players, for being here. Thank you, chat, for hanging out with us. Appreciate each and every one of you. If you're unaware, you've been watching The Forsaken, which is every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time here on Madbird Streams. We have a lot of D&D content here. Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is some D&D 5e content for you. Also on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, which, to note, this Saturday we might have it at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be a little bit earlier, but just keep an eye on the Discord channel for if that happens. Also on Tuesdays at Dungeon Craft with Steph and Vic at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, where myself and Victoria paint minis. We work on dungeon tiles. And then on Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time is Mad Art with Steph, where I, Steph, work on some fan art for the various campaigns here on the channel. We also have a Patreon, so if you're looking for ways to support the channel, great way to do so. Not only do you get some cool stuff like posts and art cards, but we get more stuff back. So it's a preferred way to support us, again, if you're looking for that opportunity. Let's hop on over to another streamer to do, oops. Let's see here. Yeah, let's head over to, I think we rated them before, Dragons and Dreamers.
Okay.
Looks like that they're playing some TTRP, some Dungeons and Dragons over there. So let's raid them, give them some love in their chat and a caw, since you're coming over from Madbird Streams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's make sure I get that right. All right. So thank y'all again. You are the best. Hopefully you have a decent rest of your week. We're hoping, fingers crossed, to have Curious Lament tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see you then. If not, we'll have Dungeon Craft at 2 p.m. Eastern Time probably. So
Nice.
a lot of ways to watch and to hang out. All right.
Mhm.
Head on over there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.